Hey, what up, y'all? So, a lot of people have been asking me in the past couple, lay down. They've been asking me in the past couple of videos what's the difference between scatterbred or line bred when I'm saying those things, what I'm talking about in the other videos. So, I figured that I would explain and show you guys a little bit about papers and explain the paper hanging and papers and etc. Relax with that shit. Anyways, the scatterbred, the line bred, etc., inbred. So line bred is when you breed a mother to a son or a daughter to a father. That is a line breeding. You can also do like a grandfather to a granddaughter or a grandson to a grandmother. That's a line breeding. And those, you're doing that to lock in the specific traits of that dog that you like. If there was a specific dog that was a grandfather and the dog produced well and you liked it, and you're trying to double up on those traits and those tendencies, then you would try to line breed and lock in those traits. You're trying to lock them in for a future generation so you can continue breeding. There are pluses and pros and cons to everything. Obviously, some people, these dogs have to be quality. This isn't for rookies to be line breeding and inbreeding. Rarely do people inbreed. Rarely should people inbreed. But let me say this, every purebred dog, every lab, every chihuahua, every beagle, every poodle, every pug, they were inbred and line bred and inbred to create that breed. That's why they look the same. That's why you can see a Rottweiler and you know it's a Rottweiler, and you know a Husky is a Husky, because they line bred those dogs and inbred them for specific traits and specific looks. They had a certain standard written out. The dog should be this tall, their head should be this narrow, they should have a wide chest and this type of legs, their feet should be tight with a curled tail, etc., with how many inches a female should be and how many pounds, etc. The same for a male. When it comes to the bullies, line breeding, inbreeding, scatterbred. Now, when I say scatterbred is the same thing. These are purebred dogs. Say we're talking about the American bully here. If you have a scatterbred American bully, there's still purebred American bullies on each side of the animal's pedigree. They're just not in relation in any way. They're still a purebred dog and they're still an American bully. This is the same for a lab or anything. You can get a lab that on the mother's side on bottom and the top's father on the top's side on top. They just don't have any genealogy relation in any way. No grandfathers the same, no aunts, no uncles, nothing the same. Those dogs are going to be inconsistent. You're going to have a litter with dogs all over the place. The look isn't going to be consistent. Neither will the temperament. And that's why we call them scatterbred. There are quality dogs that have been produced this way, but it's not very consistent. And when anyone's trying to produce a bloodline and have their name stamped on it, if they're doing it legitimately, they want there to be consistency. Excuse me, it's freezing cold out here in Arizona. It's like 47 degrees this morning. Consistent kennels. That's why my name is that. Consistency is everything. Consistency is key. Whether you're training your puppy, whether you're training a dog, whether it's obedience or whether it's, parenting, you have to be consistent in everything. A lot of people always ask me about potty training. When you get a puppy, feed it at the same time every day. Right after you feed and water, the pup's going to have to go to the bathroom. And then cut the dog's water and feed off past like 6:30 or 7, depending on when you go to sleep. So the dog goes to the bathroom and goes potty before you go to sleep, and then it's not waking up and pissing and shitting on your bed or in the kennel or however you have your dog housed. But as far as the inbred is a brother-sister breeding, and people don't do that all the time, but sometimes you have to when you're establishing a bloodline, especially when you're establishing a new breed. You breed a brother and sister, but these dogs have to have extreme traits. You might lock in the positives, but you're also going to lock in the negatives. So if those dogs both have weak rears, you're going to double that up and get weak rears. You don't want to do that. When you do an inbreeding, both dogs are looking good. They're both up to par to what you're trying to produce, and they're looking good, and they're both showing extreme characteristics. And most people do that when they can't go back a couple generations and lock in what they're trying to. The grandfather, etc., is dead, or the big name dog. Say we were speaking about pit bulls, say Jocko or fucking Red Boy. These dogs, Champion Alligator, Turtle Buster, all these big name dogs. People just are trying to go back to recreate something that was like that, because those dogs were specimens and they were elite. So when you purchase a dog, when you purchase an American Bully or a Pit Bull or a Labrador and they're registered through the UKC, which is the United Kennel Club, when you buy your puppy, you get an application for permanent registration. When you buy your dog, you purchase your animal, they give you this. The breeder fills it out. They check in if the animal, they say what color it is. They say if the dog's microchipped. If they put their name, they give you if it's a male or a female, and they give it to you. And then the person that just purchased the animal fills it out. They write if they want, you know, you can get a 3-generation pedigree, you can get a 4-generation, 6, or a 7, and then you can get it rolled up and come in a nice tube so it's not bent. You can get it next day air. They have different options. And then they send you this and you get your pedigree, and this is your animal's pedigree. This is a permanent registration. This is a permanent pedigree, and this has all your dog's different generations on it. I don't go any further back than this because it's not really useful to what I'm doing in my program. But this right here is Mary Jane's pedigree. Mary Jane is off of Azor, bred to Top Shelf's Barbie. Barbie is off of Juggernaut and Pebbles, and The Rock, Gladiator, and Karma is produced the Azor. And you can go back even further than that. Stone and Blue Haze created The Rock. I mean, these are Die Hard Iron's Tank, Most Wanted's Kimbo, Blue Pride's Tommy Guns, Sunlines If Looks Could Kill, UKC's Most Wanted Kimbo, Unstoppable Juggernaut. I mean, these are all top name dogs, not just females, but male as well. This is my foundation bitch whose pedigree I just discussed, Mary Jane. This is my female right here. She's 118 pounds. She's been up to 128 pounds, but that was when she was pregnant. I like to keep her a little bit leaner in the summer. I put a little bit of weight on her in the winter. She's an amazing dog, smart, intelligent, athletic. She's had 2 litters for us. We bred her to OC Pitts Tillicum out in California, and I also bred her to Riverside County Pitts Diesel, and she produced amazing with both litters, consistent. She had 12 puppies both times. Her second litter, 1 puppy died. She had 11 that lived, and they've all turned out amazing. They've all been consistent. I've kept a lot of those dogs close because that's my foundation line. I want to breed back to those dogs. So I kept a lot of them close. She's got pups all over the world. Moscow, Russia, Dublin, Ireland, New Hampshire, Louisiana, Texas, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Arizona. She's an amazing dog. I love her to death. She just turned 4 years old on December 4th. She's amazing. She's got good hips. She's got a good heart, good lungs. She's a healthy dog. She's an AT carrier. For anybody that gives a shit about genetics, she's been tested. She is a tri-carrier. She produced 6 tries in her second litter and 3 in her first litter. And I want to break that down real quick. Also, colors. If you breed a tricolor dog to a carrier, you're going to get half of the litter, whatever that dog produces, tricolor. If you have 2 carriers, a blue dog and a tan dog, for instance, and they're both just a carrier, you'll get 33%. The first time I did exactly that. I bred her to Tillicum, who is also just a carrier. He's a complete blue dog, and they produced 3 tricolors, and Triger was one of them. There was 1 female, and 1 boy went to Russia, Darth Vader. But I got exactly that, 33%. I got 3 out of 12, and then the next time I got 6 and 6. I got 6 tricolor, and I got 6 fawns. And I was right on the head, 50%, because I bred a visual to a carrier. And I've just been extremely successful. I've been lucky. My dogs have been amazing. Craig Compton, where I purchased her from Triple Threat Bullies, where I started my foundation, is an amazing person. I purchased Drama, Mary Jane's sister, from there as well. She's an amazing dog, amazing chest, amazing head. She's off of a dog named Trump. I'll go into that later. And then when you get a dog from the American Kennel Club, if you're purchasing a dog from the AKC, the American Kennel Club, they're the most known, they're the most renowned registry. A lot of people try to say, in my opinion, they've ruined a lot of breeds like the German Shepherd and a lot of Mastiffs, just looking for the show type. But anyways, when you purchase an AKC dog, like that would be a French Bulldog like Moana, or an English Bulldog, or any dog that is registered via AKC, you purchase the dog, you get your paper. This is an official owner registration form. They fill this out, they select what they want, and then they send you your dog's certified pedigree, and it comes on this. It's got this little shiny thing right here, and this is an AKC pedigree, and it breaks it down. Moana King, my French Bulldog, she's a female. She's off of Growler's Swagger, and she's off of Penelope. Swagger is off of Grand Champion Morgana and Power Ranger, and Penelope is off Little Mr. Henry and Big Fiona. If you go back further than that, she's got Chunky Monkey, Honey Bull in there. She's got Cutie Pied Rockstar. She's got Big Highlander and Blackjack Bass. And she also has Innocent Lowlander. And she also has Naomi and Avatar, which are both big name dogs. And these go back multiple pedigrees. And, you know, you can't always rely on the pedigree. So I'm going to talk about paper hanging real quick. And what paper hanging would be is say that they're saying that these two dogs bred and created this dog. So you have dog A and B. And those people lie and breed A and C, but on paperwork they write down that A and B just did a breeding, when really they're lying and they bred in that different breed into their other dog, and they're lying, and they paper hang, and they paper the dogs false. So pretty much they give the dogs a false birth certificate. This would be considered like your birth certificate or your social security card as a human. I wanted to explain that. A lot of people have been asking questions. I appreciate you guys. Big love. Thank you to everyone that's been inquiring about the new baby. You guys can email me at talksjrock@gmail.com. Check out my other content on JRock Talks. It's on YouTube, JRock Talks. Check it out. I go over different types of prison content. I've been out. I totally changed my life. If you were interested, check it out. I appreciate you guys. Check me out on Instagram. You can follow me at consistent_kennels. I appreciate you guys. If you follow me, add me in your story and shout me out so I can shout you out on my story. Big love. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for checking in. Mary Jane. Shh. Watch. Big love. We're out of here.